Hi, if you're watching this video, then you are probably interested in algorithmic trading or having a indicator or strategy that helps you pick out signals for, well, supporting your own trading system. As you might know, I'm Jelle, also known as MW Futures, and there are probably two different ways that you have gotten to this video. One is just by the search engine optimization from YouTube or whatever, or I told you to watch this video on the beginning of the trial of the MW Futures Scalper. I'm mainly going to talk to the people that got here through my recommendation of watching this video. Why? Because in this video I will talk to you about how this 30-day or this month trial of the Scalper will actually look like and what I expect from you. And I will also first start talking about what I have seen after hosting 4 different trial groups and where a lot of commonalities were of people that failed after using the scalper. And that's actually where I want to start off with, of what you should avoid and what you should do. So the first thing that I want to talk about is actually the misconception of people thinking that my strategy will be a quick fix. It will not be a quick fix. Just as in trading, you will have to put in the work to actually find something, find a model that fits your needs. For example, with the scalper, you are able to create practically all the time and price based models ICT has taught in his YouTube channel. So that means that there are a lot of different possibilities. So right now there are between 500 and 600 different variables in, and those variables are able to scale as well. Like there are over 1 quadrillion possible combinations of settings right now in the scalper. Meaning that when you are going to use the scalper, you cannot just tune a setting and be like, hey, it will work. I can use it out of the box. No. Like out of the box, yes, I have the default settings are a model that would work over time, but it is not something you probably want to trade. And I've done this with a very specific reason. Because I don't want any lurkers around here. No, I created this algorithm for myself so that it makes my way of trading easier. So the first misconception is this is not a quick fix. This will not be an easy pill to swallow. You have to put in the work. Um, and that is actually with putting in the work and talking about how difficult it can be, like overwhelming of how many different variables you can tweak. Ask questions. What I have seen in the previous groups, the first thing was they don't put in the work. They wanted to have a quick fix, like, hey, just give it to me and be done with it. That's not how this works. Like, I programmed something. I am a programmer by heart and I love trading. That's it. I get my income from trading as well. I forgot what I was going to say. All right. And anyway, so yeah, so put in the work, and secondly, you have to ask questions. What I saw in the previous few groups that were taking trials, for your information, they almost never asked questions. So, and in the previous 5 groups, I think there have been in total now 30 people, 30-ish people that took a trial, and only two of those 30 people actually were able to manage to find something. And what made those 2 people distinct from others, and the people that I'm talking about are Marcy Nemeth and Gil. Gil is also known as Raga Girl on the Discord. Was that they put in a lot of work in regards to, all right, trying to figure out what will these settings do and what will they not do. And what they also did was asking a shit ton of questions, constantly bombarding me with questions like, hey, Jelle, MW, how can I do this? I wanted to do this. Is this possible to actually be created? What does this setting do? How could I best utilize this setting to for my take profits or for my entry mechanisms? Those two people were the only ones that were actually asking me questions on how to use the strategy. They were not waiting for a quick fix because I told them there wouldn't be a quick fix. Like you can create practically every model with it. So you would have to choose how to continue with it. And that's also like the third point I'm going to make. So the first point was that it's not an easy thing. It's not come as you get and be done with it. No, you have to work for it. The second thing is you have to ask questions. You can ask them to me. You can ask them to Gail, to Marcy. There's a help channel in the Discord where you can ask your questions. And the third thing will be the way that you are going to use the scalper. So as I said, there are a lot of different ways and a lot of different combinations to create a model. I suggest the way that, like right now, I know how the script works and I know how to work with it. So what I suggest you do when you start off is that there are a few different entry mechanisms. The first thing is the first presentation of each hour. So if you go with entry informations, you see a few check marks. One of them is use 2020, the 2022 model. One is search for a value gap every 30 minutes. Another is search for a value gap every 15 minutes. And if you don't check any of these, then it will use the first for value gap of every hour, every pre-market session. So also what you can do is like I think the first presentation for Asia, London, AM session and PM session, those are also things that you can check. When you're going to create a model, like first start with the idea, okay, this will be my entry model. Meaning I will go for the 2022 model, I will go for a heavy scalping model, searching for every 30 minutes or 15 minutes for value gap, or using the first presentation strategy of each session. Once you have done that, like look at the chart and see, all right, what does this currently now actually do? What does it draw? And from that moment on, start playing around with the stop losses, start playing around with the take profit systems, etc. Like you have to have watched the tutorials on how the settings work, otherwise this doesn't make sense at all to you. So watch those tutorial sections, but first start off always by your entry information criteria. Like what kind of entry model will you use? So those are the first three things in regards to what you should and should not do. So what you should not do, you should not think it is a quick fix. Secondly, you should ask a lot of questions. Thirdly, it's more of a tip, like start off with an entry mechanism, what you want to build a model on. And as a fourth thing, what I potentially would suggest doing is that almost every New York AM session I am in the Discord general voice channel. If you have a question, just hop on there and start talking to me. It's that easy. Like I really rather have you asking a question than that you get frustrated and don't know how to continue. Like the software that I've built is amazing. It's possible to almost create every ICT model. But you again have to understand how ICT works, how the script works, and you have to play around with it. So those are the tips and tricks and things that you should not do, those four things. And that is what you should focus on the first 30 days, because what eventually will happen is after you have taken this trial and during the trial, if you have found a model, I also have created my own machine learning model that is able to analyze all the deep backtest trades that happened in a model. And what that machine learning network does, it tries to find patterns in time and price, and it will eventually give you the avoid times, which is also like an option in the settings of the scalper, to like, hey, we should not trade during these times. And what I have seen so far, which is very interesting, is that, for example, um, it will avoid certain periods of time where there's not a lot of volatility. Like it's almost tells you like, hey, the kill zones, like you remember, where the volatility is high, it will make sure that it almost always trades in those times. But what I've also seen is that on Wednesday and on Friday, when the high impact news like FOMC or NFP is, it will, for some reason, it has recognized that those times are not profitable to be traded at. So it would tell you to also avoid those times, etc. So eventually, once you have your model, you can refine it with the time aspect even further with the analyzer. And you can ask me later, like, hey, Jelle, could you please run your analyzer for me? Then I will do it. Eventually, you will also get access to the analyzer if you would wish to continue later on. But that is way down the line. First, I want you to fully focus on creating your own model, understanding the settings of the liquidity scalper, which you also see in the background right now. I will talk a little bit more about what's in the background later on when I'm done with this rant. So be aware of just putting in the effort, asking a lot of questions, find your entry criteria of which you want to build a model from, and join the voice chat, I would say. Um, ask if I can help you with refining your avoid times. And that is basically it what I wanted to talk about mainly right now as a like to set you up for this trial. Next, what I wanted to go on about was what would happen after the trial. So I'm giving you a month's worth of time to play around with this strategy. I like it for real. I like it a lot. I mean, as you can see in the background, you see that I'm running not the TradingView strategy to which you have access, but I'm actually trading this on NinjaTrader as a valid trading bot right now. As you saw, as you can see here right now, for example, this morning it took a trade. Sadly, it got stopped out before it could hit this liquidity pool here, but eventually we did go down to take out all those bearish liquidity pools, as you can see. So the trade setup was still valid. It didn't pan out for this time. That's fine. I still believe in the model. I know the backtesting data, etc. Anyway, so during this month, I really want you to get like familiar with all the settings and what you can accomplish with the strategy. Like how does it tell you to actually enter, where to put your stop loss, where to put your take profits, etc. If you want, you can trade it, but I wouldn't directly recommend you to start live trading unless you have confirmed with me, hey, Jelle MW, does this look solid to you? Like that I gave you a double check that everything looks fine. Let's say it like that. And after the 30 days have expired, you will see that 7 to 4 days before your trial expires, I will send you a message in the group chat where I ask you if you want to continue, you can make a Stripe payment here. So it will not be free, but it will be extremely cheap. As in, I told you, I get my income from trading myself. Like I have 2 trading bots right now running. I actually trade the script as well. I get my income from this. So why did I put a price on it? Well, just for you to start to get working, to get incentive, basically. And what it is, if I'm right, it is 134 euros x tax. So if you are in the European Union, you will also get added a tax upon that. If you are outside of the European Union, you would just pay 134 euros. That's it. compared to strategies where you pay like 2,000 bullocks for, which is bullshit. And what you will notice is that this is more like this is an opinion that I highly have, and that is like I think this is the only actual strategy algorithm that tells you right now in regards to ICT where to put your limit orders in advance, where to put your stop loss, where to put your take profit orders. A lot of strategies and indicators that are trying to help you are most of the time bullshitting you. Like as a programmer, I can go in the technicals of why, but a lot of them they don't work. I know this one works. I trade this one, as you can see. So yeah, so that is basically like what I expect of you. In this video, I talked about what I expect of you, of how you should behave. So don't ask that anybody is going to do anything for you. You have to put in the work. You have to ask the questions. You should start with an entry mechanism you want to trade your model with and be comfortable with. Furthermore, you should join the New York AM session voice chats if you have got any questions or want an explanation about something directly. And how the eventually analyzer will get into work, so optimizing the time aspect instead of the price. The strategy itself does the price part, the analyzer does the machine learning part for time, and eventually how it will be continued after your free trial, which I think that a month of playing around, asking questions, getting one-on-one help is a lot. That's also a reason why I do not allow more than 5 people each month for a free trial, because I want to help them out. I know that 500 to 600 variables, customizable variables, is very hard to actually start understanding. So I will hold your hand during that process, basically. So for now, thank you for your time. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments or in Discord. Also, if you have watched this entire video, please leave a comment below so I know that you have watched it entirely. Also, maybe like mention your Discord name from the Discord where you are in with my server, your username for my server. Then I know that you have watched it. I expect you to do that so that I know you have watched this video completely. So this is a little check for me also. Like as you know, during the application phase, I asked you to have you read these rules. But this video is part of the rules, so you have watched this. If you have not watched this video, I will know that you have not watched it, and I will ask you, hey, have you actually watched it? And if you then lie, then well, I know you lied, and I don't like people that lie to me. So yeah, thank you for your time. Leave a comment, and then I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.
In the morning light, markets